Is a changed team from Russia from game 2 on Friday. In particular, on the bench move Sozanov, the winger, and Dorov, the halfback, both of whom pretty good contributions in game 1 for Russia. Certainly Sozanov was one to watch. As we look at the teams now for
still got 30 seconds
Kenya
till kick off.
And a change at 10 where Biko Adema comes in to start the test match.
He left.
And up next, the team for Russia, or the reserves, I should add.
John, we're going to need a ball.
We have, as you can see, 20 and 21 made big effort for Russia on the weekend. Referee today is Stephen Copeland. And Copeland coming from Hong Kong.
Just hold till I let you go.
So he'll be used to the idiosyncrasies of the pitch here.
Blue captain.
Kings Park, and we're getting ready for game 3, and it could be an absolute cracker. Kenya now with a few more days under their belt rest-wise, and an opportunity to show their wares as Adema gets the ball underway. And we're underway with game 3 of the 2017 Cup of Nations, and straight away it looks like Russia ready to open the play up. So sweep up and over halfway now. Russia. Just the nudge down to keep the Kenyans contained into their own red zone. And from the restart, they force Kenya into the far side. Ball kept alive. Gayson, ball in hand now. Drifts across the field. Tries to open up the angle. Creates a tackle play. Uzanov. Uzanov again. Just happy to try and shift the defence around. Big tackle by Kenyan captain. Some short targets being set up by Russia. Now they push wide. There's some space out there. Good covering work by the number 8, Chisinga. Chisinga played a big hand for Kenya on Friday night as well. We come back, and here's a good early test for the Kenyan scrum. Only a couple of minutes into the match, and already it would appear as if Russia are just picking up where they left off. Showed some good rhythm, ability to build continuity. All important to hit your strides early in international footy. Good strength from Kenya. Chisinga, he moves it wide. What a magnificent pick up by the number 8. Sorry, that's Chenga, the number 6. He made the great pick up there, and the ball dribbles into touch for a Russian line out. So actually good early touch for
Take
Kenya.
care of yourself.
And certainly the scrum. look good and solid. And you see that as a bonus. Russia smoothly taking it to Uzanov. Sends it down range, and it's a good, strong chase by the winger, Davidov.
15, come back,
as you can see,
thank you.
Russia not committing many to the breakdown at all. Gayson at the back. Tries the first man on, he puts a man under space. It's the 8, Krotov. And they move at Russia. Far side set, good counter ruck by Kenya. Ball forced into touch, and so Kenya won an early exchange in the match. It was one of the features of their play on Friday, was their ability to defend the wide channels. Chisanga lines up the inside channels and lets it fly. And the kick into touch. Squeezing Russia down into the corner. So this is a much better start from Kenya than we saw after game one. They've started a bit startled, somewhat disjointed. That certainly isn't the case to see it this afternoon. As we welcome in our viewers from Kenya and all the Russian fans from right around the world. Taken down well again at 2 by Russia, and they maul it off. Hope you're enjoying these pictures of the Cup of Nations for 2017, and off they roll now, and Russia, they break away. Ball goes to the ground through Chernishev, and into touch, the ball flies on the full. Chernishev, a change for today as well. Sharply at 2, drawn down by Chisanga for the throw from Korea.
7 out.
And now it's Kenya rolling their own.
Play on.
Chenga, they managed to transfer it. The ball's on the ground. Some Russian bodies getting around, but now number 7.
Russia last.
Oh, Willop. And Kenya sniping on the outside channels. Good strong run from the fullback. Now they're back on the inside line. Kenya breaking the gain line, looking dangerous. Korea can't hold the ball. And it's a penalty in front of the sticks. Well,
number 3.
Never would have guessed it in a million years. It's 2 different teams. And certainly this team now much more relaxed. Kenya certainly have got their rhythm. If you take a look at the IM replay, 3 the player goes. And it's definitely a call for offside against, I think, number 3, Podrezov. The IM replay showing quite clearly the Russian prop getting up offside quickly.
Yeah, let's get that next one, yeah.
As Mukidze adds the 2. Excuse me, adds the 3. And Kenya, possibly against the bookkeeper's odds, score the opening 3 points through a penalty, and it is Kenya who lead 3-0 over Russia in Game 3 of the Cup of Nations. What an unexpected start. And Kenya, oh, where this team has come a long way in a few days.
2 balls.
They had real difficulty on Friday, even exiting their 22 at times. And now they've gone pushed up the field and rumbled at Russia onto the back foot, taking 3 points. Gayson restarts, 8.5 minutes gone, 3-0 the score. So you've just tuned in, welcome to the 2017 Rugby Hotels Cup of Nations. Live pictures from Kings Park Sports Ground in Kowloon, Hong Kong. And this four-way tournament featuring these two teams, Kenya in the red and Russia in the blue. And red socks, and what a run that is from the number 8, Krotov. Now out to Davidov. Good swarming defence. Through he comes. The referee, Copeman, not happy with the way
Blue play on his feet, you have to remove him.
that Wilson Kapondo came through there. And Ramo Gayson. First 5-8 for Russia. Played a very, very steady hand on Friday. Very steady indeed, Gayson. Led the ship around, put on a beautiful little try for the Russian fullback. And here's the throw. Take it down, swept away. They've switched it off. But some accidental offside, I think. Call, or maybe not straight. Might have been the call. There's hundreds of viewers tune in from around the world again. Welcome to everyone in Nairobi.
Let's get a gap.
Watching.
Show me a gap. A gap.
As the front row is just getting read the riot act by referee Copeman. So pretty important scrum here for Kenya. They're going to push their way. Here's the heat coming in from Russia, and they've got to keep it square and straight. And off comes number 7, Willa. Here's the release. Back to Adema, and then Adema on the right foot sends an absolute screamer downrange. Terrific kick from Biko Adema. He's looking very comfortable in that absolutely crucial pivot position. Full line out the call. Russia with the throw-in. 3-0 the score. Kenya lead. Chernyashev. Down Uzanov. Floats it off into number 12. Rudenko, and Gayson tries to get away, and a hand in the action there. Russia still maintain it. It's Russian ball, and they're on the front foot.
Knock on advantage.
Not forward was the call in the end, and the referee Copeman brings it back.
Was forward by.
So scrum restart, but terrific forward. Terrific play in the back line by Russia. Identified the space. Rudenko was able to move the ball wide after some tidy work off the line out. Sion replay shows the second man with Gayson doubling round the back. He spotted the gap and split them open, and it was just that ball there. And had that one floated through to Budichenko, that it would have been try time for Russia. Here they are now. Uzanov finds Rudenko again, and he takes it straight up. It's straight at the Kenyan defence line. Now they look for Dotko. Gayson lays on the little nudge, but it's guided over by Kenya.
22.
As the players crashing over the back of the dead ball line. Referee Copeman having a look. IM replay just shows Gayson, and he knows how to weight them just so on the pitch, and terrific vision shown by our camera team here on the IM replay. Vincent Mose guiding that ball over the dead ball line, and now Russia from its own half. Gayson moves it as well. Look at that tackle, what a great bit of work from the second 5'8". Siji still coming though, Russia. Big strong hit by number 4, Kapondo. Doesn't stop Russia getting the ball and finding their way to the Kenyan 10 metre. Uzanov, Gayson, Rudenko, they go even wider now. Gubin, and the ball eventually finds the ground. They've shown some real resilience. It's Russian side, penalty for the high shot. There wouldn't be much in that.
Thanks, Polly.
Possibly a call from the assistant referee. Kapondo's tackle deemed high, so it is Ramel Gayson who positions Russia once again down in the Kenyan red zone. Just sung up. And the Kenyan number 8. It's a bustling player, very, very strong. We've seen some great yards out of him in the first game on Fridays. Russia and Kenya sack it pretty smartly through Karani, making the tackle. And Kenyans keen to find the big hits there if they can find them. The Russians aren't scared of the physical stuff either, so it's a interesting mix as Chisanga comes flying up and tries to hit the line, but great ball out to the open side flanker. Suzlov.
Lost 3.
Uzanov now. Fedotko. Oh, a little show from the prop. Morozov, he's still going. What a powerful run from the big man. Great little touch of skill there, just showed it. Floated away from the tackler. Now the Russians hard on attack. Uzanov. Gayson again poking the line. It bounces off the shoulder of Olba or Laba, I should say. The ball is picked up and run away by Chenga. And the halfback, Siligoa, gets it down range before Davidov. The winger comes flying back, and Uzanov. Gayson now. 15 is Budachenko. Looking for their runners if they can find them. Uzanov goes back and not quite there for Ramel Uzanov, or Ramel Gayson, I should say. Stringing some great continuity together as we taken the action from the IM replay, and it is Morozov. Look at him, just strength of the guy, the presence of mind to keep the ball in both hands. It's a great example for all young rugby players out there. The ball in both hands. He was able to show it. He sold the dummy beautifully to the Kenyan defence and then just sailed straight through them. Terrific action on the IM replay by the cameraman. For our audience, see time off from play just for a little injury at the moment. This is not a good side for the Kenyan side. They won't be feeling happy about this. Chisanga, the pretty lively number 8. See, he's got a fair bit of strapping on the right knee. Kapondo goes over to perhaps convince him that it's working a lot better than he thinks.
Can we come off? Get on with the game. You coming off?
In fact, they send on number 20.
Yeah, time's off.
Sonia.
No, it's injury.
So Sonia makes his way into the game. There's an injury replacement for Joshua Chisanga. And that's a bit of a blow for Kenya to lose a man this early, and particularly that man as now start to experience life without Chisanga, and already
lost forward by Kenya.
The Russians have turned the ball over, so that's a concern already. Well, Kenya just missed out on a little bit of timing on the back. So, number 6 for Kenya, Davis Chengo, is a very, very tough character indeed. Took a big belt to the nose on Friday night.
Crouch.
Lost a bit of claret. Got the patch up, come straight back into the action. He's a very tough character indeed. There's some strong men in this Kenyan pack as Uzanov gets the ball out. Now snaps play back the other way. Budachenko. He's brought down. Uzanov. Just sniping away now, the Russians. Here's an extra couple of metres. They roll forward. They'll take another few more. It's all working out pretty good for them as they head off towards the sticks. Around the corner. Look at this drive coming in now from Russia. Only a few more hits like that and they'll find themselves over the line. Referee Copeman brings them back for a penalty though. The warning goes out to Kenya now. Shouldn't be too surprised to see Russians call them back in for another scrum, and they will.
What's the call?
As you would expect.
Scrum call.
Kenya currently leading, but in 4th place on the table, courtesy of a 20-point loss to Chile in game 1. Still, it wasn't really until about the 45th or 50th minute on Friday. Short arm reset for Russia, and they take it away early. Bring them back to the mark. And referee Copeman does. Scrum is called again. Well, Russia have to go down and pile the pressure onto Kenya here. If they play this one absolutely right, the perfect outcome is the penalty try and a yellow card for one of the Kenyan players. Remembering they've already got themselves into the bench of Kenya. It's a scrum. Uzanov trying to get it back towards the sticks again. Uzanov, same way play. Finds Fedotko.
Lost.
Off the shin. Offside is the call. Well, a little bit of inaccuracy and away come Kenya. And some pressure as well to go with it. And just like that, Kenya relieved the pressure. Well, just take a look at this. Fedotko goes in and yes, made to work a bit hard. It's off the shin and immediately puts the number 8 Krotov offside. So he won't be altogether ecstatic about that.
Crouch.
And now Kenya, through the very sharp work of Mose, find themselves down and almost to the 10-metre line of the Russian side halfway, and now it's Kenya through Mose. Ooh, he's just about slipped out away from 3 of them. There's the layback, and Kenya through Kapondo. Ball is lost. Great unload, and Kenya straight through. Here comes number 7, Awila. 14 is Mukidza, I should say. My apologies.
Lost forward by Blue.
Got the
Scrum down, red ball.
Pats on the back. There's some eyes wide open at the moment. This Kenyan side have done very, very well. Suck up the pressure from Russia. And they've answered straight back. Put themselves in a good, strong attacking position. It's top work by Kenya.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Ligwa, Edema, right under the midfield.
Tackle release.
Crashes Kalonzo. Now Edema again taking the ball standing still. They don't want him to be doing that. They need him on the front foot. Coming through, Simiyu, the prop. Carries. Short ball. 12. Siji. Pop over the top. It goes nowhere. And Russia take it fairly easily through Krotov. Uzanov gets the ball on. Davidov, what a run, what a catch. Outstanding play. Thought he was gone for support there, but he managed to get to Uzanov. Now Russia down to the Kenyan 10-metre. Uzanov digging away there, looking for the ball, and Copeman, the referee, gets the arm up quickly as Kenya did the only thing they could to snuff it out. They throw the blanket on the fire as the IM replays show. What about that? The catch by Davidov, that was an absolute ripper from the winger. He's timed that to perfection, and now by Gayson puts Russia back down on attack.
So let's get red on the line. Red on the line.
Referee Matt Rodden, a member of the team from the World 7 Series, or the World 7 Circuit. Plenty of international whistling time for Matt Rodden. Russia just overthrown. It comes loosely back, and this is the sort of position that Kenya could be absolutely deadly in. Ball doesn't go to hand though. Thankfully for Russia. There's the touch finder. Sneaks way through the Russian defence, and Kenya get away from their own line. So it may not be the most orthodox version of doing it. It doesn't really matter as long as you get it done. Chernyashev throws, and it's off the top, and Uzanov into the midfield. Rudenko He's a big, strong ball of a man. Number 1 is Morozov, Uzanov, Blind, Gayson. Good running angle for the ball back on the inside. My, with all sharp work from Russia. Gayson unloads, Morozov again. Morozov, the chip through. Davidov. Oh, what a try for Russia. What a try. That was an absolute stunner. Well, these two blokes. Gayson on the IM replay gets it. He doesn't even look. He finds the space. He waits it to absolute perfection. And Davidov comes off the wing and scores an absolute bottler on the IM replay. That is a great try for German Davidov. Beautifully constructed and expertly laid on by the Russian fly half. It's a couple of kicks he's been running onto. He's been showing some very, very good enthusiasm. Davidov. My word, the accuracy of those nudges from this man, Ramil Gayson, have been absolutely terrific. The last couple of games, he's put a real masterclass on with the grubber kick. As Ramil Gayson lines up the conversion attempt from a very handy position. The kick is good for him at 7 points. And Russia take the lead 7 points to 3 here on game 3 of the Regal Hotels 2017 Cup of Nations. What a terrific score for Russia. The Kenyans have been using a form of chaos theory to keep the Russians away from their line, but in the end, it's the man with the ball on a string. Ramil Gayson put Russia away in the restart. High and deep, but secured nicely, and Russia just going very nicely, although that was a stray boot, might have knocked that forward, and in fact it's come back now for Kenya. And Simiyu carries it forward, and arriving is Ligwa. Tries to get the ball away. Knock forward is the call. They'll go back to the restart for the scrum. Kenya now with some good territory. Behind, 7 points to 3.
Hold up. There's the mark.
It's interesting time. 10 minutes remaining in this half. Game number 3. Game 4 featuring Chile and Hong Kong. And the ramifications of the result there are pretty obvious. Certainly for Hong Kong, it's a must-win game. This is Siligua. Yeah, they move it out. Mose cuts it with Mukidza. Mose at the bottom of it. Siligua. Now it finds number 6, Chenga. And it's been turned over, and that looks like Sozanov.
Advantage is over.
Making his way onto the pitch, possibly for Davidov. We'll see. And now they push it wide and get themselves into a bit of room. Keen to play the ball with width and pace, though. Good to see from Russia. Uzanov gets the ball now. Gayson doubles round, finds Krotov. In comes Fedotko. Gayson, another bounce pass. They struggle forward with it. This Kenyan defence starting to look a bit wary though, Gayson. They fly the ball through again for 15. Oh, it's some great work by both those Russian players. Outstanding stuff. Budichenko lays it off for number 11. Nepivoda. As we take a look. Uzanov, there's Gayson again on the IM replay. They've got them in 6s and 7s, but Ichenko just uses the hand to tip it off. to his outside. Nipiavoda. And Nipiavoda scores a try to take him through to 12-3. The kick to come from Gayson. As he looks down the other two, he's from a long way out on the far side of the field. This will be a good test of Ramel Gayson. Gayson's approach. Good. Good looking kick, but not worth the two. And Russia now lead Kenya 12 points to 3. And it's all courtesy of that man, the try scorer, Evgeny Nipiavoda. Gayson laying, just reading the space beautifully. Kenya giving them too many options in the end of the restart though. From Adema, high, short, contested, Kenya ball. Great play from Kenya. Still full of plenty of fight, there's no doubt about it. Coming up to 34 minutes gone in this first half. Ball at the back, and turn up. That's a look like Adema. Takes it to the line, goes to ground. That's a look again. Good, strong, storming defence by Russia. Short side they play. Chenga runs it forward. Short side play again. Taking a lot of yards. their feet early. 7 is Mung Umi.
Last. Play advantage, lost forward.
Russia pushing forward, and Russia
Stay on your feet.
drawing the penalty. As Gayson sizes up which side of the field he wants to take. The score now for Russia would be absolutely ideal as Gayson sends the Russians into the Kenyan red zone one more time. 5 minutes left in the half. This would cap off a pretty good half for Kenya. For Russia, excuse me. Started a little bit under the pump. Tapped out by Suzlov. It's the outside hand to it, directs it down and through the middle. Uzanov isolated, and Kenya being very destructive at the moment, and they earn the turnover.
I'll see it.
That's good. Heavy destructive play by the Kenyan forwards. Not about to get bullied around by Russia again. And they made it very, very difficult.
Just remember, before we set, I want to see a gap.
The Russian halfback,
Show me that gap.
Konstantin Uzanov, to get the ball away. Kenyans reading that well. Let's look what. Look at that heat coming in from Russia, and then forces number 7 Munga to peel off and reset a target, and they do. Adema takes the ball and exits Kenya down the far side. That's a good strong exit play too from Adema. He's looking very settled there at 10. This Kenyan side desperately need someone to steer the ship for them. certainly look a lot happy when they're on the front foot. This Kenyan side, they've almost changed character completely from the team that we saw run out on Friday afternoon. They've come together well on tours. Russia off the top, Gason looks for and finds number 6. Sochev. Uzanov. Far side they dart. Krotov. Ball back inside beautifully. Morozov, and they go for the line again. Russia, and will they get there? It looks like they have. And they have, says referee Copeman. So that score that they were looking for prior to the half, they get 5 points more for winger Nepiavoda. And Nepiavoda with a brace, as the iron replay shows, Krotov breaking the line. He gets the ball back to the hard running Perezov, and Nepiavoda on hand to finish that try off. He had plenty of attention on him, as the iron replay showed. But Evgeny Nepiavoda takes 2 tries in the half as Russia move out to 17-3 with the kick to come. Gason from out wide. He's already had a sider from out there, and he got it. So that means the sider was good for him, as Ramel Gason adds 2 more points. It's 19 points to 13. And even though it's been a much more competitive half from Kenya, it is in fact the Russian side who have made the most of their scoring opportunities. 3 tries already in the half for Russia. 19-3 they lead. Edema restarts. And again they can compete strongly, Kenya. And it's Gason gets onto the right foot. Sends them down. And they break out. Mose tries to split the line. Nasiligwa onto the right foot. Trying to keep the team rolling forward, but it's out on the full. Referee Copeman blows it off for the first half. 40 minutes end. And it's 19 points to 3. Russia leading Kenya here in Game 3 of the 2017 Regal Hotels Cup of Nations. And there it is, the half-time score, 19-3. Russia 3 tries to 0. Tries to Davidov, 2 tries to Nepiavoda. Pretty sharp kicking too from Gason, particularly delay on the tries for Davidov and for Nepiavoda. It's a very, very impressive and tidy first half from Russia, but it's a much improved 40 minutes from Kenya, and they've shown a team that has really come together over the last few days. And they've made up some real ground in this Kenyan team. It's a classy outfit. Well, this Russian outfit, twice champions now of the Cup of Nations, and they're taking the right road out, trying to get themselves 3 titles in as many years. So Kenya, the Zimbas, some fantastic support for this team online. The Kenyan followers and fans of rugby, there's many, many of them, and they made themselves well known online. Whereas this crack Russian outfit, that man in the middle, number 9, Uzanov, played a great hand today. 20 is Sozanov, and Zosanov on Friday night on the wing was, well, he was electrifying. He was a man inside everything. Davis Chenga, the taller of those two gentlemen. He's a tough-looking character as well. Does a lot of the hard work. Wasn't too scared about putting a head into the dark places. That's how you want your loose forwards to be. Reasonably tough nuts and no-nonsense type characters. As the backs are separated from the forwards, and the forwards receive the technical information they require. Back in the old days, they just would have turned them round. Thankfully, it's not like that anymore. As we get ready now, don't forget, at the end of this broadcast, it'll only be a few minutes before we start a new one, as we get ready for Game 4 of the 2017 Cup of Nations, brought to you by the Regal Hotels. That'll be Chile taking on Hong Kong, and then on the 18th, at the earlier kick-off time of 2 p.m. Hong Kong time, will be round 3 of the Cup of Nations, the final round featuring Kenya playing Hong Kong and Chile playing Russia. Those games on Saturday the 18th of November at the Hong Kong Football Club, the magnificent Hong Kong Football Club. A remarkable facility for everyone that's played there. It's an absolute treat. And look forward to getting down to the football club on Saturday for 2 very, very important games of rugby union. And if you want to join us, then visit Ticket Flap in Hong Kong online. Purchase your online tickets and be part of the action. There's tickets for Saturday should be available now on Ticket Flap, so get through there and make sure that you can get your way into the stand. As with a good result today for Hong Kong, could put them right in the hunt for a win against, well, a win overall. It'd be nice to think Hong Kong could put the pressure on Russia. It will take a win over Chile tonight to do that. And as we saw on Friday, Chile are no bunnies either. 23-3 over Kenya. As the Russian management, coaches, try to deliver the message. As all coaches know, that comes in a varying level of success. So you mean it's starting to do just probably check their own bit of video analysis going on there for the referees. And it's about as quiet as you ever will see Kings Park at the moment, but there'll be a few numbers on their way for the Hong Kong game later on as people finish work and climb aboard the ever busy MTR here in Hong Kong. And Kenya back together and getting ready. Union member John Carroll, a member of the board of directors, taking some advice from Crystal Wong, and get more fish heads in the VIP area, explaining how the game's played to each other. As the Russian team take a very, very relaxed position on the ground. Kenyan side, however, not so relaxed, standing almost at attention and readying themselves, steeling themselves for the upcoming 40 minutes, in which they will really need to put the rubber on the road and tear into this Russian outfit. They need points, they need lots of them. 16 to bring them back to level at the very start. So, Kenya, all to play for in the next 40. And the Russians, by contrast, considered, quiet, focused. As we take a look now at the interception management highlight package, as the first penalty awarded went to Kenya, and this was ultimately knocked over for 3 points. Then Ramel Gayson laid this one on for German Davidov, and look at that absolute precision in the weighting of the kick. And Davidov, who's been pretty deadly out there on the wing, and the build up close to this came through. That's the first try. Then this next run comes back again. Gayson lays it on superbly. Budachenko palms it off to Nepievora for the try. And then here's a great effort by Russia in the end, finished by Nepievora. And that's 3 tries to 0 in the first half. And the IM replay, some great work from our camera team to bring you those highlights at half times. We pick up now the action of the second half as the teams make their way back slowly. There's final instructions now for Kenya, and you can feel that they know that that's do or die time for the side now. Russia know it's all there in front of them. An outstanding 40 minutes here would just about put pay to any concerns of not taking home a third championship. They need the points. They're looking strong at the moment, being 16 points up. The early members on the far side. Well, what an opportunity now. Magnificent opportunity for Kenya to show their character as they try to pull down this charging Russian bear, led by the little general here, Ramel Gayson. He's such an important player for this Russian side. He can play flat, he plays deep. He's expert at laying the ball through the gap. And it's Gayson that starts the second half for Russia. This is game 3 of the 2017 Regal Hotels Cup of Nations, and straight away an early penalty. Not releasing. An opportunity. Russia managed to exit their own 22. They bring it back up to halfway. It doesn't look like any significant changes have been made early on in the first half, or from the first half. Taken down. Kenya doing well. Keep the ball in hand. They break into the Russian half. Saligwa working well at the back there. They take it forward another 5 or 6 metres to the rest of them now. I think that might be Kapondo. There they go wider. Dima tried to lay it off into the midfield of Alaba and CG. Didn't work for him though.
No.
As the Kenyan half split up.
Was forward by red, scrum down, blue ball.
So the scrum First scrum, good.
5. Set.
Of the second half. And a short arm restart for Kenya. So perhaps a little bit of switch off from Russia to be blamed here.
Blue, look up. Scrum.
So both teams come back, and it's a genuine lack of discipline from Russia, but Kenya have called them back.
Crowd.
As we
5.
set it up now for
Set.
Siligwa. He goes wide. Far side picks up the running Mose. 14 is Mukidza.
Stolen.
And in around the 22. They've turned it over though. Russia done superbly well, and it looks like, is that Davidov running away down the far side? It is the winger. There's the palm off. What tremendous run by Davidov. He's just about gone all the way. He's going to go. Well, an absolute Minty's moment. How much more do you have to do as a rugby player? As we look at the IM replay, Davidov gets it, slips one, pushes two, beats three, flies off down the track. Check this, that's what I call the don't argue. Slips 12 as well. He's done it all. And the rugby ball made a simple decision on behalf of everybody there and said no. So German Davidov, that would have gone around the world in a matter of moments, and it still might when it's cut out for viral purposes later on. The IM replay showing very clearly that the only thing standing in the way between German Davidov and absolute internet fame was the rugby ball. So there's a change being made. It looks like Kadeem has taken the seat, and he has.
Crouch. 5. It's a long arm. It's the second time in early. It's a long arm penalty. Scrum. You're going in early. Need a gap.
Scrum restart. As we take a look. This Kenyan out hard on defence. 19-3. Dropping now. Offside is a call. Well, some lacking of concentration with the Russian team at the moment. The ball not finding touch, and away comes Budachenko. Takes it almost up to the 22. Uzanov. Gayson goes wide. There's Davidov now. German Davidov, the try scorer. Lobs it over the top for Detko. Fedotko lays it down. Uzanov finds Morozov. Midfield now. Uzanov again. Looks wide. Budachenko takes three players with him. Uzanov. There's a great ball there for Krotov. Krotov to the ground. Uzanov comes back to the middle. Gayson. Morozov, same way play. Gayson lobs it back in for Dotko.
Backwards.
Slipped from his hands, it went backwards was the call. Can you pick it up? But a penalty advantage being played by referee Steve Capeman. Yeah, there were some phases that went into that too. That'll
Tackle.
be taking the sting out of everyone's tail, particularly the front row forwards. Morozov realises he's on camera. Better get off it quickly. And Jason comes over and perhaps asking where the point is. I won't be too surprised if we see this go down into the corner.
Visions.
And
Red
some
1, red 3.
replacements being run for Kenya. 7 and a bit minutes gone in this second half.
Time back on.
I'm sure Setley done all right on territory. Little mistakes have been creeping in. This doesn't look like any mistake. Immediately, Kenya try to sack. They still have it up and they drive it through. This is tough, hard-nosed work being done by Russia. They sight the line, Russia. They drive at it. Referee came in great position. He calls the try for Russia. And they come through in the end. Very hard work being done up front. That's real nose to the grind stuff, sort of stuff for Russia. They've done superbly well. On at least 2 or 3 occasions they tried to cover that off by sacking it. That was probably the second attempt that Kenya made. As they drove again, they managed to keep the ball up. And in the end, it was through goes number 1, Morozov. And Morozov takes the try. Big try. A very big try for Russia. And Gayson looks on. Ronald Gayson with the conversion attempt. That's it sweetly, and that one's no problem at all for Russia. 2 more points. 26 points to 3 now. And it could be some danger for Kenya here if they let them go any longer or get out any further. There could be some real trouble. Changes being made again. Into the field of play comes number 19, Bekov. Restart by Kenya, knocked back towards Kenya's way, and potentially they have it through Kapondo. Asaligwa. Ball back on the inside. They break them. They break them back beautifully. Kenya for the line. That looks like a try. Has he got that down? It is a try. Terrific work for Kenya by Nato Simiyu. Number 22. Let's take a look. Well, that's a great break by Olaba. He lays it back in, almost inside him at all. They couldn't stop him so strong. Look how strong he was on the stride. And it is Nato Simiyu. Dotting down for Kenya. 26 points to 8 with the kick to come. What a beauty. Darwin McKidza adds the 2, and McKidza takes him through to 10. It's 26 points to 10. The 16-point margin returns. Tough work by Russia undone by some absolutely sublime work by Kenya, even from the kickoff. 26 points to 10. Kenya, what a try. Gayson restarts for Russia. Floats it up and down onto the 22. That's almost a perfect restart. Pressure from the running forwards.
Touched.
Comes in Now Gason biding his time. Now they break Russia. Gason. Good tackle in the midfield by the Kenyan player Alaba. He's just about done it all himself. In fact, he thought he'd go on with it. Never returned. It's a big tackle by Alaba. And referee Coatman right on hand to make a good decision there. As Gason sends Russia down into the corner. And it will be a line-out restart for Russia.
Where are you?
Look for Bekov and they bring it down. They went up unchallenged and now Russia try to keep the ball alive. Kenyan doing some terrific work there. Some heavy work being done by the likes of number 4, Wilson Kapondo. He is getting in there and really stirring the Russian line out up, particularly when they try to come down. And the Russians bringing to the bench their fly half, Emil Gason. He's done enough for this evening, according to his coaching team. It might be fair enough too. An opportunity to give some players some minutes out in the middle. Coming up to 53 minutes. And Russia leading leading Kenya 26 points to 10. Look at the drive coming through, and Russia dismantled Kenya and smashed them back towards their own 5-metre line. Kenyans managed to find an angle to work, and that's a terrific exit from a very, very, very small angle indeed. Somehow they managed to scramble themselves out of immediate trouble. Kenya. Terrific play by the Simbas.
Boys.
Taken down again, and Uzanov finds a new fly half, and Budichenko sends off. Well, it was a great play by Russia. Terrific work, Budichenko. Found Napievoda. He looked himself for Sozanov. They couldn't quite find each other. As the eye in replay shows, look at this. They had worked that ball beautifully. Sozanov had a line there. I think they would have taken them all the way. Back with play live now. And a chip and go from Simu, the try scorer. They look to try and flow off that. Yeah, it's like some sort of free-form version of rugby jazz from Kenya. When they get on the front foot, the ball could go absolutely anywhere on its way to the try line. Breakdown and continuity, breakdown and play and handling.
Crowd.
And Kenya defending again inside their own half, and so Uzanov feeds the scrum. They come from the back, put it to Rudenko, and then a big, big tackle. Unfortunately, he couldn't go through with it with CG. Referee, play on. Sligwa back round there again. Brings it back, and Mose picks up the ball, and Mossy now, he lets it go for 11. Alaba. Simu again, the try scorer. That's Ligwa. They fly in, Kenya. Siligua. Find another one of their big, powerful runners.
Advantage is over.
Chip over the top. No one chasing on it, though. And rightly so. Vincent Mosi feeling somewhat grim about the whole proceedings. And in the end, it's number 23, Ryabov, that sends it to touch for Russia. So the bench is getting a fair shakeout here. Siligua loses the ball behind him. He's forced to take it forward and he lays it off. Russian defence on the inside is punishing and pushing. And eventually they hassle them to the point where they turn the ball over.
Substitution.
And there's a few men starting to hit the decks now. And Hong Kong 26 points to 10. Very, very, very tough work for all concerned.
Red 9. Red.
There's a front row replacement being made for Russia. It's a fairly relaxed drinking attitude. I think we've all been there before.
It's coming.
Looks like Sunday without the couch.
Time's off.
Kenya. Well, incredibly at 19 degrees. Considered a very cold day. There's a cold weather warning out here in Hong Kong at 19 degrees. Anything below that, and they could quite possibly shut the city down. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, thank you.
So I've got my woolly hat with me if I need it. 57 minutes have ticked off. That's the back of number 5, Ilian.
Okay, we're okay. We coming off or staying on?
Ilian hasn't been talked about much today. That's because he has been running around doing all the graft.
Scrum down, blue ball.
He's the kind of man that the coaches are always very happy to see.
Fine.
Quite achiever in the second row. Platform looks good. They go wide now. This is tough work by Rudenko and Uzanov now. All new players on the ball for Russia. Uzanov, it flows behind him. And for Dotko, that's a few Kenyans around the body before he manages to unload. 22 is Gritsenko. Uzanov. After the action, they fly now. The Russians. Structure. System starting to work well. Lost behind. Towed ahead. Ryabov. Sozanov. They'll have to clear this one if they can. Uzanov keen to get his hands on the ball. 18. Davudov. And now within whistling distance of the line. Sure enough, Davudov. He'll take it. 6 is Sidechev. Still there for the big men if they want to keep rundling it up. Get the sensation that they probably do. Whoa, that's a good strong run. And is that Ilian, just as we were talking about him, close to the line and wide they go. Looking for 15, Budichenko. 23, looks like he's rolled in, and is he over? Copeman on hand, it's a... Well, there's the signal. The time to talk as we take a look at Gritsenko. And in amongst all that in the IM replay as we watch, it's Gritsenko drives in hard. And they're quite happy to award the try, the referees, and that is in fact the try to Dmitry Gritsenko. As the IM replay revealed, some terrific build-up work by Russia, and the man there, number 22. Budachenko's kick from out wide. Just on the inside from the Russian fullback, and Alexander Budachenko can't end the two. As they come back to halfway for the restart. Kenyan out. Yeah, they are trailing. Managed to win that ball back. Not entirely sure how, but it's not the first time they've won their own restart today. Try them on again. The Kenyan side. Out wide. What a run into the play. That's Mose. Vincent Mose looking for another runner. This is great work by Kenya. As they flow down there. What an outstanding bit of work that was by the outside backs. Sergi into play there very effectively as we look, and it'll be forward pass. That'll be a restart in favour of Kenya, but let's check this out as Mose comes flying into the line beautifully on the angle. Commits to tackle it, then who's that man? There he is, number 12, Sieging. Just outside him was Kalonze. If they managed to get that under the wing, Kenya might have rolled themselves in again. So, an opportunity for Kenya. Good scrum close to the line, keeping it together well. New halfback, Tito Simiyu. Back on the inside, and players fell to the ground unfortunately. So Kenya now back to the line. Look at them driving through. 17, Amasula. What a try for Kenya. Held up as the call. Well, my word. It was like a runaway train, as the eye replay shows. At this point, it's all off the back foot. You pick him out and look at the power of this man. That is absolutely remarkable from Amasula. Well, Copeman in an outstanding position, so he was able to see that, but heavens above.
Crowd!
Would have been glad you're a referee and not a tackler there. Scrum time for the Kenyans now, and Simiyu shows the ball and across comes Alava, who gets absolutely hammered. To pick and go, or to break through. Oh, the ball goes stray. Then Kenya
5 minutes scrum.
will be ruining that one, but that's some good work. Again, taking two deadly darts at the line. Russia forced to cover themselves with some scrambling desperation. It's terrific work by Onsomu. So Onsomu gets it away. Simiyu, he dragged the defence nicely. Opens it well for Alaba. This quick ball, great decision making there by Mangini, and then that was just, well, a half step away from putting one right under the sticks. That could have made things pretty interesting. Onsomu looks on. They break off the back, and it's terrific work by the Russian forwards. Gritsenko. Now they lay it. And referee Copeman blows it up. as they come back for the line-out restart. 64 minutes gone, 31 points to 10.
Blue 12.
It's Russia leading Kenya
12.
in game number 3 of the 2017 Regal Hotels Cup of Nations. Pitch is coming to you live and direct from Kings Park Sports Ground here in Kowloon, Hong Kong. Kenya trailing, playing in the red. Russia blue shirt, red socks. Here's the line-out throw, almost overthrown and bounces back for Russia. They look to carry the ball out. Looks like a little bit of madness, but it's really just designed to find the space, and they pile in, but
Come off your feet and play your hand.
very untidy at the breakdown for Kenya. So it will be Russia just have to calm things down a little bit here. Try and get Kenya off this.
Time off.
A replacement. Nyambuya comes into the pitch on wearing 19. Off the top for Russia as they look to run it wide. They do get it wide. And that's Uzanov. 21. Dorofiev, halfback that started on Friday against Chile, and they push it on. Forward pass though is the call. Well, they've been beaten on a few occasions. The Kenyans. And any of the Russian players that dare stray into the crosshairs of the Kenyans tend to find themselves well and truly shot.
5. Set.
On Somu. Feeds, short sides the play. OC. The up and under. Off the 22 now, come Russia. Well, claims of a forward pass unheard by the referee. Borochenko puts the high one in down the road. Picked up by Simu. It's a little bit of yo-yo at the moment. As the teams try to play the territory game. And eventually it's Davidov who puts it out far side. Quick line out, taken down well at 5.
18 released.
Mangini. Russia's short side.
Blue,
they push, back. They dart, they probe. The Kenyans, the Russians cover it off nicely. Great inside defence work by Russia, not committing too many bodies in the end. On Somu, gets onto the right foot. Zozanov's attempt at taking it goes loose and adds another 20 metres to the Kenyan kick. And Kenya, almost from nothing, have gained off that slight handling mistake. Find themselves now inside the Russian quarter. As the Russians take the advantage of the throw. And a reminder to you, coming up soon, game number 4 will be Hong Kong taking on Chile. Joining me in the commentary position, Daniel Musa. All there waiting for Russia, and it's taken away in a fairly good exit kick. The ball bounces forward. And all onside is the call as Ilian puts it on the ground, and now they break out and loose ball. They're playing it close and flat to the gain line. The Russians hard, flat, fast passing. Take a look at this on the IM replay. It's a good contest, and in the end it's Ilian who comes away with the ball. Terrific camera work on the IM replay. The men in the tent combining well for the viewing pleasure today. Congratulations. The Toblerone coming to you.
Crouch.
31 points to 10.
Fine.
Russia still in control as we get into the final 10 minutes of the game. Dorofeev releases it, coming back hard. Davidov, German Davidov, look at him go. Tough to put down Davidov. They managed to get over him. Flat ball now. Uzanov gets the ball back in to Fedotko. Dorofeev. And again, Dorofeev. Now they wind it. Budichenko puts it onto the foot. Couldn't fly it through. And Kenya turn it over. Through the number 20, Masonya. Chasing through hard. 12, Cg. Loose for the winger. That would have been beautiful to call in. Lava could have dotted down an absolute screamer as we get inside the final 10 minutes. Simiu's nudged through, running hard after it like a runaway train. CG, and it didn't quite come off for Kenya on that occasion. Lava doing his absolute best to get across. German Davidov receiving a bit of the old magic spray, as they like to call it in the trade.
Crouch. Fine.
Scrum time. Dorofeev. Keen. Get it short sides to play, and they try to snipe away. Good counter ruck by Kenya, puts all sorts of pressure on the Russian teams, but Dorofeev has the ball and they just muscle it out a wee bit wider. Try a little bit harder to get some more width on it again. Through side Chev. And now the ball taken by Mosi. And he's met and thrown heavily to the ground by Selski. It wouldn't be the first person he's done it to, I don't think either. Great handling by the Kenyan forwards. Chenga. Oh, the ball just went to the feet, really, of Masonya. It's unfortunate.
Forward. Scrum down, blue ball.
Lovely little hands. Look at this work on the IM replay by the three forwards, almost linking in magical harmony. Musala, a big prop forward there with the soft hands.
Crouch. Fine.
Dorofeev, referee Copeman. Not happy with the angles up front. And time ticks away for Kenya, 31 points to 10. This win will move Russia temporarily into first place on the table. Yurchenko making a pretty good fist of things as he has come into the pivot position. It certainly helps when the forwards are getting along just nicely. giving some pretty good ball. Coming up to 74th minute. Ilian climbs high but can't claim it, and it comes back. It's Kenya ball. Let's see what the Kenyan attitude is here. Ball goes down range, they fire it wide. Even wider again to Sozanov, and Sozanov gets going down the far side. He breaks 2 or 3 and leaves one behind. They draw him down midway, 22 and 10 on the far side. Dorofeev moving in, did some heavy contact in the middle. Russia's there though, short side play. Poke through the middle by Ryabov. All there though. It's good security from the Russian players. Now they slowly start off by grinding things away again. Off to the short side. Ball left behind by Ryabov.
Tackle release!
Dorofeev caught behind the ruck. He tries to lay it back, and it may not be optimal ball for Russia, but for Dotko. Picks it up and carries it. Love's getting his hands on the ball, the big second rower. Dorofeev lobs it up high, and ball bounces awkwardly and back to his teammates. Russian halfback in there one more time. Short side he looks and finds a working group. Featuring that man again for Dotko. Into space, they look like they're running now. Great hands by the Russian pack. Ilian gets it finally on the ground. Budachenko lines one back up on the inside. Can't get his hands free. They'll have to blow it out quickly. Good strong counter ruck by CG, and he gets the ball down the range, and now it's a foot race. Dorofeev looks like he might have knocked it on, and in fact he has, according to the referee. Referee Copeman, well, he was 5th in that race, but he was first on the scene. As we look on the IM replay, great counter ruck. He's done it all himself, CG. And then he's let it go. Look at him come through the middle. This bloke here, number 7, still running flat out. Awilla. And he had both of those defending outside backs from Russia in a lot of trouble. If she'd stayed on a straight line, it would have been Kenya 1, Russia 2-3. Not playing that kind of game though. Ensemble. Now he goes wide. He forces it wide. They try and get it over the top. Cannot. The counter ruck out there by Russia is pretty powerful as well, but it's lost forward as the first call. And they'll come back. It'll be a Russian start. My apologies. It'll be a Kenyan put into the scrum. 2.5 minutes remaining in game number 3, up very shortly. In around about 25 minutes time, second broadcast featuring Hong Kong taking on Chile, game number 4 of the 2017 Regal Hotels Cup of Nations. And then, of course, the final round, round 3 on the 18th down at the Hong Kong Football Club. On Somming. Simeon goes wide. They look to put Mosi in, and he gets to the 22, lobs it back on the inside for Mukidza. Ball spills out for Russia. Great tackle by Vincent Mosi. Snuffed out the attack on the spot. Dorofeev finds for Dotko. Dorofeev has a little nibble himself, but looks like it's up the jumper time from the Russians. They're just going to count this one down if they can. As they come out on little solo man missions, sniping and cutting away at the Kenyan inside defence. There's a working group beautifully positioned to take it, and they do. And this is just now rumble man tactics. Budachenko lobs one over the top for Sozonov, and Sozonov. Not happening for him. Protected. Russia keep the game well in control by slowing things down, stealing precious moments away from the Kenyan side. Final throw of the dice for Kenya. Down the back they go. Ball bobbles clear and on Sommel.
Offside.
And Sommel gets to the ground. Seji takes it to the 22. Still a half back. The inside centre. Now he gets back to his position. Kenya looking for some sort of fast ball, quick ball if they can get it. Simu goes wide. One's 19. Nyambua. It's another penalty for Kenya. They won't be happy until they hunt down a try here as we come up to the 80th minute. Mossy. Not back to 10 was the call. Referee Copeman.
Scrum.
Yeah, they take the scrum. It's on offer. Probably not a bad decision either. So, final opportunity late in the game for the Simbas and the massive group of fans online.
Crowd.
And despite this scoreline, it's been a much improved performance
Set.
by the Kenyan national side. Much more settled. Got into the game nice and early with a 3-0 lead. Simu can't find the man on the wraparound. Russia with the ball. Dorofeev puts it out towards touch. All eyes go to referee Copeman, and referee Copeman blows time off in this game 3 of the 2017 Regal Hotels Cup of Nations as we witness Russia show too much strength and power over Kenya. And game number 3 ends up as is. Russia 31, Kenya 10, and that moves Russia to the top of the table now with 2 wins. Kenya stay firmly fixed at the bottom in 4th place with 2 losses as we take and this the IM replay package. The highlights here as we watch Davidov, and this is the try that never was but should have been, and it still could be an absolute screamer. This could go viral, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at that one. You probably will never want to see that run ever again. Here's the try now from up front. This was 3 great efforts to ball the ball away. It was tremendous stuff by Russia, and they showed so much power and strength. Then CG, probably the outstanding back for Kenya, found the replacement 5/8, Simu, and Nato Simu got himself in across the line for Zimbabwe and try. Then 23 onto the Pennock. Ryabov got himself in over the line. Eventually this was held up from number 17, Amusala. Now that is the IM replay package for the half as the Russians come together to share in the congratulations as they move into the top position of the table. 2 wins from 2 games. Kenya, even though vanquished today, certainly were a lot stronger and much more of a team proposition than they were on Friday. They've come a long way in the 3 or 4 days they've been in town. So, outstanding performance by Russia. They were, in the end, too strong. And terrific lift and performance by Kenya as our VIPs look on, and in particular in that picture is the figure of it appear to be Nick Hewson, 50 caps on Friday, and now he is sitting on the bench in the VIP area, which is an unusual way of preparing for a game, unless of course he's not playing. I think that may well be the case. So the vitamins are starting to flow at the Kings Park Sports Ground. That's not what you think it is. That's a refreshing hydration drink that they serve here in Hong Kong. In fact, it's just a beer. Maybe it's not just a beer though. Who can really tell? And Simbas naturally will be disappointed. A third game for them on Saturday against the host nation Hong Kong. So it only gets harder and only gets stiffer as we go down now to the sideline for Daniel Musa with the winning coach from Russia. Thank you.
Here with the Russian coach Alexander Pushkovin. Alexander, congratulations firstly on the win. Another good performance on the scoreboard, but how did that compare to your performance on Friday night against Hong Kong?
Он вас поздравляет с победой, вот, и говорит, что сегодня впечатляющая была игра, и как бы вы сравнили ее с игрой против Гонконга, которая была в пятницу?
Ну, игры, они разные, и составы играли разные практически. То есть у нас сегодня, я очень рад этой возможности, когда мы смогли поменять, по крайней мере, 9 игроков, молодых игроков, которые сумели поучаствовать в этом матче. Я благодарен сопернику, то что сегодня был хороший матч, очень такое жесткое темповое регби, и нам очень полезно для наших молодых парней такие матчи.
Basically, the old games are different, and he's really happy because we have opportunity to change 9 players in our squad and bring the youth to our starting 15. And of course, thank you for the Kenya rugby team because of their performance, and we play some good, exciting, fast rugby. Thank them. And we are really glad with this opportunity to play.
Что ж касается сравнения матча с Гонконгом, то, на мой взгляд, первая игра была по качеству, наверное, все-таки выше.
And he thinks if look at back to Friday game, he thinks the quality of match against Hong Kong was better.
Okay, guys, thanks very much, and all the best for the final game on Saturday against Chile. Best of luck, coach.
Благодарим всех за внимание, за поддержку и за организацию этого турнира.
Yeah, we would like to thank you everyone for organization of this tournament and our supporters back home.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Cheers.
The Russians set up a guard of honour for the Kenyans. And the final score from Game 3, Regal Hotels Cup of Nations, Russia 31, Kenya 10. That's the way it broke down. A terrific win for Russia over Kenya here at Kings Park.